GMR! 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 GMR!
It's episode 12, or I guess what are we calling these? Episodes, numbers?
Webisode.
Show number. Webisode. Podcast. Podcast number 12. The GMR Podcast.
Not the GNR.
Not the Guns N' Roses podcast.
No.
The GMR Podcast. I'm Marty Catola, back with you again.
And I'm Ray Daniel.
And we also
And I'm
have...
Gene Mott.
Yes. GMR, that's what it stands for. And here we are. It's April 12th, 2013. On April 13th, 1990, The Forbidden Zone began, my old public access show. So
we're looking at 20 years ago?
23 years of some sort of programming or another. Frightening.
You know, I'm looking at this schedule here on Thursday. It does say that there is a film festival. They are showing films.
Yeah,
in
they have
three
a
different
few
rooms.
They have a few beginning ceremonies things going on.
What time was that panel?
6:30 to 7:30 on Thursday at Phoenix Comic Con this year. I think it's May 24th. We're having the Jean panel up there for an hour.
Which is a Q&A.
Yeah, May 23rd. May 23rd, I think it is.
Which is a Q&A.
Yeah, we'll be showing a couple episodes from the series and then having a Q&A session. So that should be fun.
Once again, congratulations, Cliff and Marty,
Yes,
on your Comic-Con film
and
selection.
the 98 other people involved in the production of Jean the Alien and Reviews. Who is Jean.com? It's ZHON.
And
Yeah, look that up on the website and put that on. Download that
become a little Zonster.
and start planning your Comic-Con adventure right now. It's already up there on the web.
Yeah, watch them. It's free to watch.
What's free to watch? Oh, the Jeans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jeans.
I've seen all of them, haven't I?
I think you have, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple left, aren't there?
We're still waiting on that final episode. Coming soon, though. Coming soon.
I don't know.
That's the one I haven't seen.
Yes.
I don't know if
By
I've
the way,
seen
folks,
the second to last one or not.
I think you might be a couple further behind on that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I really
For you
want
people
that
out there
to-
in podcast land,
Podcast land.
instead of La La Land,
Or TV land.
TV land, please give Zon a whirl. If you can sit through the first 15 minutes, you can sit through the entire thing.
Well, if that
If you
doesn't
like the first 15 minutes, you'll like the entire thing. That's all I'm going to tell you. Because for most people talking about a webisode, they don't really latch on to what you're saying. You know, it's not like you can watch Breaking Bad on AMC on Thursday night. You know, so
It's a well-made little story. It's pretty good. The genre, and it's a comedy.
Yeah, it's a little science fiction comedy thing. The episodes are about 10 minutes long a piece or so.
Easily digestible.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Most people they like think a TV show is 30 minutes with commercial, blah blah, and which is good. This is what we want. We want to break the barrier. We want to get across to the mainstream. Because it's getting more popular. There's more webisodes being made every year and being put up. And by
True.
big names.
Yes?
By big names. Stephen King and Bryan Singer has that one out now. And
They do? What's that?
I have no idea. I read that Stephen King has a webisode thing out and Bryan Singer has a webisode thing out.
Bryan Singer.
The director of X-Men and Superman.
I was thinking of somebody else.
Now,
Okay.
I remember when Stephen King released The Plant as putting out chapters of a book digitally, and
No,
you had to pay for it, and
No,
people
this is-
weren't, so he stopped writing the book.
No, what I think this is
Well, that's people experimenting with trying to see what they can get away with.
Yeah.
You know,
That
this
was over
new
10
medium.
years ago, too. You mean like an actual web series?
yeah, and I think they're not. I think
Well, a web show is just like a
show.
a TV show that you watch on the internet.
And that's what Stephen King and Brian Singer has, and that apparently they're the two top names in webisodes. In terms of that, making webisodes, that's what I read. I'm trying to remember where I read that at. Have you guys seen the new Superman Man of Steel logo?
No, you were kind of showing us that, and it was in the. Could you hear that on your headphones? That was a can. It was right there. Whoops.
A new Superman logo.
No, Ray. What?
It
Not
looks-
really.
It look fucking kick ass.
Why is there a new Superman logo?
It's the same logo. It gets rebooted. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, let's fuck with everything, man.
Yeah,
Let's just
they're
screw up.
fucking with Star Wars. Why not?
Well, this podcast is a reboot.
Mm.
It's a reboot of a
It's a
reboot.
reboot of public access programming.
Public access spinoff.
I mean, we haven't done a live show, and it's going to be 3 months by the time we do one.
By the time-
And we're just podcasting now.
yeah.
When we do that again, it's going to be like, oh wow, remember this?
Has it
Yeah,
been that long
why
since
we
we've
even
been in
have this
master
camera
control?
here?
I
Yeah.
mean, in control room.
It's been a while, yeah. There was no TV show this month. There was none last
Oh yeah,
month.
he went on vacation. Yeah.
So the last one was in what, February?
Yeah,
That's a long time. It's
Are you
now-
having another one pretty soon?
yeah, we're doing one on May 4th, which is Free Comic Book Day.
So when is that?
Saturday, May 4th. That's
I mean.
that's in 3 weeks.
Okay.
So that'll be our big live ramp up to Comic-Con episode.
Hopefully we get a lot of crossover at that point. People wanting to hear the podcast from the TV show,
Yeah.
or people listening to this podcast watching the TV show.
If I close my eyes, can I make it May 25th already?
And it would almost be my birthday, Ray.
Damn it, because I don't want to feel anything up until Comic-Con day.
6 weeks.
I don't want to feel anything but.
We're
These
giving you a
weeks-
double-header podcast today.
Oh, man.
These weeks are passing pretty quickly. It just seemed like just a few minutes ago we were doing a podcast.
Well, we were.
Okay.
And if you haven't listened to podcast 11, you skipped right to 12. Go ahead and listen to 11 first, because it's really just the first part of 12. It's like we did this two-parter because, well, we didn't give you a podcast last week, so we're giving you 2 this week. It only seems right.
It only seems fair.
That, and if we don't use the time, it goes away at the end of the month, and we spent money on nothing. So we
And
wanna
which
make
is
sure
a lot
we
of
fill
12.
that up. Yeah,
We got a podcast, people.
got a podcast.
Haven't done a TV show in 3 months. We got a podcast. But Ray's done some TV shows, hasn't he?
Yeah, we shot a little bit of Crazy, and of course we shot that new season of Pondo Theater
Oh, yeah,
recently.
I guess that does
the
qualify.
Trick or treat. Oh, trick or treat.
That was
Ooh.
like-
Yeah, coming this October.
Oh.
That was back to back.
What? The other one we did, Marty?
UFO Kidnap
Ooh, that was god awful.
and the original Django.
Oh yeah. Total spaghetti Italian Western, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crazy though. His hands is burnt and bandaged in the news.
Spoiler. Well, it's more of that if a movie's over 30 years old,
And
is
he-
it really considered spoiler?
You can say whatever you want at this point.
You know what that movie Django Unchained, the original Django, reminded me of Topo.
Yeah, it has a little
A
bit of
little
that
bit
feel
of
to
that.
it. That might have been the movie we were watching the night we had JJ in the car with us and his girlfriend, and they were taking pictures of us. People were driving by taking pictures of us in the car. it's around that time period, right? About 6 years ago.
Yeah, and we were in a big El Topo phase.
We were driving back from doing live TV. The car was packed, and we were probably all on the show, all four of us. And I guess because we were big stars at the time or something, the paparazzi started taking pictures of us when we were driving back. So very weird. And this happened more than once. This happened like 2, maybe 3 times.
And we're used to people running up to us and making us sign an object with an autograph.
Oh, yeah, that was a classic moment. What was that, like 12, 13 years ago?
Gene, listen to this.
We walked into
Bookman.
the Bookman's on Grant like 12, 13 years ago. Somebody come up to Ray, and they're like, oh, you're that TV guy. They were so excited to see him.
Yeah.
They went and grabbed a VHS of Star Wars and had him sign it.
Yes.
Wow.
And I don't know what they did with that tape, but we were just like, wow, that's a trip.
And dude, and I'll never forget one time at Taco Bell. No, I better not say anything bad. Never mind.
No, go on. Go tell us that story. Come on, Ray. Gosh darn it.
Not
Sounds like a good
not
one.
for podcast ears.
Not for podcast ears.
All right, well, this is a good time to bring up that story that you kind of got cut out of a podcast before about Frank.
I'll tell
Frank. Well, Frank was this guy who was so drunk on the set that he was trying to grope various people. He even tried to grope me at one time, and I was just kind of like, no, leave me alone, but don't kick him off the set. This might be good for TV if he tries to go after somebody else. So I guess that was the mindset at the time.
That's so TV, though, dude.
I'm a little
you should be on
jealous
30
because
Rock.
he didn't try and grope me, man. Wasn't I good enough for Frank?
What, Gene?
I'm a little sad he didn't try and grope me, I think he just like younger guys, though, because Mark, you guys were all so young.
Yeah.
Who else did he try and grope?
I'm not sure. Well, as we watch the footage back, we gotta be on the lookout for.
That's episode 21 that Frank appears. So.
Oh man.
Went through a whole trip with him, all the way from that, trying to. He had his own beer. He had his own 6-pack at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, he would hang
You
out
gotta
with
respect that.
Breakout for a while, and then once the Couch Slugs came in, he stopped coming down to the alleyway show as much. But there was that Frank era there.
I remember in the beginning of your show, Marty, when a lone girl could be on the set, and you could tell every single guy on the set thinks they have a shot with her. And then it's like, none of you guys have a shot with her.
There was
That's
the infamous Robert and Christina episode.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah, he's probably thinking of Christine. Yeah, then I don't know. I remember I was editing down there one day, putting together my 3 hours fucking show or some fucking show, and she came down there and watched me like throwing. It'd be like throwing.
I mean, if you live in a 20-room house and have 10 cars, and you find that boring, what are you going to find exciting?
Hanging out with people named Syphilis in the alleyway.
She actually showed up when I was editing that Xena loop.
Yes.
Oh, don't talk
And
about
they were-
Xena, please.
It was great. It was how long was that? Like
That's vintage 90.
10-minute loop.
Are we talking about Warrior Princess?
Xena the
Oh,
Warrior
God.
Princess blowing on a horn. I just looped it for 10 minutes.
Oh.
It was fucking great. It was fucking
Dude,
great, man.
dude, don't get me wrong. Hey, obsessions are a great thing, but I can't get into that Xena thing.
Oh, she was fucking great, man.
No, I'm not saying she's hot. She's freaking hot.
Lucy
I just
Lawless.
can't get into that whole show.
Oh, the whole series.
Yeah.
The Hercules.
Yeah, and yeah, I just can't. I love Lord of the Rings. I love Hobbit, Wizard of Oz. I love Narnia. But TV, fairy tale, Once Upon a Time on ABC, I just can't get into either. It's so weird. I'm like being a hypocrite. I'm sorry, Gene.
Don't be sorry, Ray.
There's
Just
one show on TV that we all watch that nobody's ever really talked about on the podcast yet.
What?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh my God, Charlie.
You could
and
do
Matt.
12 podcasts on that show alone.
Indeed.
They even did their own podcast on one episode, right?
Yeah,
oh yeah.
the best show, guys, is where Charlie plays the wild card.
Which time?
The first time.
Where he fucking jumps out the back of the van, cuts the brakes, jumps out the back of the van.
That's all the gasoline.
They have all the fucking buckets of gallons of gasoline, the trash cans full.
Oh man.
They're going to buy a
Hilarious.
bunch of gas and then sell it a year later when the gas is more
Go see
expensive.
everyone's
That's
houses.
just science. That's just science.
Door-to-door gas selling.
Oh man. And the next one was Dennis has the bowl cereal.
Oh, driving while eating
The
bowl
bowl
cereal. We
cereal.
have talked about that one. Yeah, that's classic.
Oh man.
The one where they go to the fucking Jersey Shore
Oh, yeah.
and they have to fucking.
We didn't make you a suntan lotion drink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it gets you all. He's drinking the shit.
Oh yeah, you thought Charlie had.
Him and the waitress hanging out on the beach all night.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause she's on ecstasy.
Yes, and he thought he was all in love.
They found all those treasures,
And
just broken glass.
And to think that my first Sunny in Philadelphia show I ever saw was The Night Man Coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one he ever showed me. Cause my brother for
That's
years,
a weird first one to watch.
my brother for
Yeah.
years been trying to make me watch at the house. I was like, Then one time at my house, I was like, there was one with Dennis and Dan DeVito. They're puking in the hallway. And
Oh, that's the one where they try to get the tickets into the back.
and I had no clue what it was.
So
and,
you're just seeing that one part.
and the next week, he's like showing me The Nightman Cometh, and I told him about that scene, and he shows me Nightman Cometh, and then I was hooked. I was hooked by the troll hole by the boy. The troll.
You
Gotta pay the troll. You gotta pay the toll.
You gotta pay
Pay the troll toll if you want to get in this boy's hole. The troll toll.
Boys hole.
Boy's soul. Sounds like you're saying boy's hole.
So I'm raping him like this, and he's like,
There's no
yeah.
raping scene. I'm up to here. I'm up to here already.
Oh man, that's Nightman.
And they all just fucking take Charlie completely seriously.
All of them. All of them.
Anybody but D, yeah.
Nobody does a musical for no reason.
How about the one with D gets punched in her?
Oh, that's another good one from season 8
Yeah,
where
she gets punched in her crotch.
it's the that one's the
Oh, you haven't seen that
I
one?
might not have seen
no,
that
no,
one.
you've seen it. It's the
Sounds like we have to watch it.
no, it's the Dangerous Liaisons episode where they think that Charlie and Dee are going to get a boyfriend
Oh,
girlfriend,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and he can't stop himself from eating the cheese.
Oh, that one.
And then it turns out that they're just like playing him because they're idiots. That's where they
No,
they,
me no.
they do that videotape, and then Mac punches Dee in the crotch, and they're rewinding it, and laughing at it.
Oh, man. That is classic, man.
The one where Frank's going to marry the whore.
Oh yeah, when
Oh,
the crack whore. Yeah.
or the Charlie's grandpa was the Nazi.
Oh no,
Which
Dee
one?
and
The
Dennis.
Dennis
is-
grandpa was the Nazi.
Which one?
Not the one with Charlie wearing
The
the
first one
the
or the
hat.
second one?
If you watch The Nightman Cometh again, next time you watch that, you can see the dog painting as part of the set.
Is that right?
It's like a painting of the dog painting on the wall. So that thing had been there for a long time.
It's supposedly
The Nazi painting, yeah.
drawn by Hitler or something.
Nobody cares about an original Charlie Kelly.
Oh.
Charlie is just. Did you see that Charlie takes over the world?
Oh, I love that one where they get
They're
addicted to
playing-
the online
yeah.
gaming.
And
Oh,
If I'm doing good in the game, I'm doing good in life.
he gives that girl a box of spiders, and
Dude,
everybody turns on him because they thought he was.
there's not a single bad Sunny show. Huh?
That's where Dennis goes down on himself.
oh
in the isolation booth or whatever it is.
Oh.
Even their worst episodes are good. Like the
Uh-huh.
one where they're stuck in the house and they can't get out of that house.
Oh yeah.
It's a weird episode, but the more I watch it, the funnier it gets.
Or when they're in the closet the whole time, and there's
Oh
just like
yeah.
all this shit's going on in the living room.
Yeah,
and
that
they,
one's
that one-
and they
crazy.
just,
That one of the
and
more
then they're just like,
weirdo
fuck it,
ones.
let's just walk out.
And they all end up going back in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the living room and they walking by the couple.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the one from this season where they're all in the restaurant, but they won't talk to each other, and nobody knows that Dee's even there.
Oh,
And then when they lock eyes, Charlie and Max see each other.
I just
They're
saw,
like wild animals and shit.
total bromance.
I just saw the one again
Has
where
to pay us tribute.
where Dee had her baby,
Oh yeah.
and they have the party
Mm-hmm.
to try and find the father.
Bill Ponderosa,
Not-
Rickety Cricket.
Yeah, they're all doing pasta in the hotel in the hospital room.
Yeah.
And passe, for those who don't know, is coke, right? Cocaine.
Because they gotten Rickety Cricket addicted to cocaine in an earlier episode.
Oh, sure.
But
He
they're
was
all
down
doing-
for
they're all
anything
doing
at that
fun while they're
point.
walking down the hallway.
Or the episode where they're getting married, that Dennis's ex-wife is going to get married.
Yeah, the Maureen Ponderosa wedding massacre.
Oh yeah.
Turns out everybody was on bath salts.
The guy's like, I really feel like drinking today, Frank. You know, it's a wedding. You know,
That's a trigger for
but
me.
it's a dry
Yeah.
wedding.
Go ahead, you deserve it. You deserve it. You've
I
earned
feel
it.
like doing some drugs then. Yeah, go ahead.
Guillermo del Toro as the Grandpa McPoyle.
Oh yeah.
How about when you were making out with his sister at the
Those
bar?
are-
Oh, when they get taken hostage and it's just rubber guns.
Oh yeah.
You know what a good series of movies are? Now you mentioned that is the Hellboy movies. You guys seen the Hellboy movies?
I never got into that. No.
You didn't? You like the Hellboy movies?
A lot of people love them, but it didn't do it for me.
I like it, but I don't love it like some people love it. Like I know a girl at work, that's all she collects is Hellboy stuff.
Fat Boy is a huge Hellboy fan.
That's what I mean.
And from way back before even those movies, you know, he's
That's
a
what
comic
she
book
said,
fan.
Comic book
too.
guy.
Yeah.
Well, there's a guy in my work. He's 42. He's like, I used to buy original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic book in New York City, black and white.
That shit's worth good money now.
Okay,
I
he's like,
learned
I
that
need-
from watching
comic
Walt.
book,
Yeah.
If I knew that then, he said.
Oh yeah, I would have bought 10 copies of each, right? Yeah.
Yeah. If we'd have known that then.
You said they were black and white, Ray.
Like I've said I think I said on an earlier podcast, I would have subscribed to every comic book back then because they were $5 or something, not even for a year's subscription.
I remember.
Like, look at that Doctor Strange Marvel Treasury Edition. How much did it cost to subscribe to a year of that?
I'm gonna say $2.90, dude.
No, that's the issue is almost that much.
$1.50 if you buy it on the newsstand.
Damn, but always 70%
I
off.
think it's like
$12 for 6 issues.
So that's
But in
$2 an issue.
1975, that's, you know,
And dude, look at that quality.
yeah,
back then.
that's a big comic.
And if you got that in the mail, obviously it's going to be folded over, you know, because it ain't going to fit in your mailbox. Or maybe if you're lucky, the guy would hand deliver it.
And then after a while,
Boom.
they started advertising always mailed flat.
And then you get like a fucking year. That's a 100-page comic book right there.
Mm-hmm. I had to start
Boom.
subscribing because I was sick of going to the newsstand and they didn't have the issue.
I wish I'd
wanted.
have been smart and subscribed to that back then, but I subscribed to shit like I had a subscription to Ghost Rider, Avengers, shit like that.
I remember once my dad took me and my brother to go visit. My parents went to go take me and my brother to visit one of their parents' friends. And the guy who lived in the house had a whole room full of comics.
bitch.
And to me, it didn't make any sense because he didn't have any kids.
Oh yeah, because you just thought comic books were
Yeah, but
kids' thing then.
he wouldn't let us go through the books, through the boxes. He would go. He would look through the boxes and say, "Oh, he'll take this one out." It wouldn't make any sense to me why a grown man will have all these boxes and boxes of comic books.
To lure young boys down into his fucking manhole, right?
Yeah, and
But to get in this boy's hole, you got to pay the
toll. But now,
Bada bing.
almost 4 years later, I understand. But I don't own a box of comics. But I understand.
Yeah, I don't have nearly as much as I did at one time.
Are these all comic boxes?
Yeah, those two are, yeah.
I remember Marty had like 20 of these suckers.
Yeah, I used to have about a dozen. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a
Didn't
few.
Robert used to buy all those comics, like all the Star Wars and
Robert's really into
anime stuff, right? Weird shit.
yeah, let's call it that. He's into his weird shit.
I remember he used to, or he was flashing
Yeah,
them
he
on
shows them on his
That's
TV
like
show.
his TV show is, hey, check this thing out.
Mhm.
Check this thing out. Check this thing out. Look at this thing. I got
Yeah.
a tire over here.
That's
I got
the
a
collector's part
I got
of
a
the
I
movie.
got a
collector's
fucking race
music
car
show.
tire in my fucking house.
'Cause it's movies, it's collectibles, and it's music.
I don't like that show because I see all his Chicago friends and I get jealous. I'm like, they don't really like you, Robert. You know? What the fuck, dude?
Robert,
Get back here.
Chicago
They're
friend.
trying to deceive you. Get back to Arizona
Yeah,
where
we
you
got to
belong.
get you on the podcast.
Dude, if he hasn't been here in 10 years, he's not coming back for another 10.
Rob 2cast.
He always tells me he's coming back whenever I talk to him, which isn't that often, but every now and then he'll sporadically get a hold of me somehow. Wherever he is. He shouldn't be there. It gets pretty fucking cold.
Cabin fever.
We were going to do beans and crackers, like a little comedy skit.
Mm-hmm. And then we had what's going to be the new version of Al Capone's Vault.
Ooh. It's gonna be Donald Trump's vault. Big ass dirty wig. Al Capone's vault. See, that's what happened when you don't have YouTube or internet.
There wasn't no internet. We sat there for 2 hours watching Geraldo dig
Live
into
feed.
an
A
empty
live
wall.
feed.
Yeah.
They went into overtime on that, didn't they? Because they couldn't cut away because they had sold it so hard.
But you know,
And there was going to be something in there.
but every American watched that night.
It was pretty.
He
I
had
don't
the
know.
Tommy gun and he's all shooting it.
Yeah. And what'd they find? A bunch of empty
Bunch
bottles.
of brick.
A
Empty
bottle.
A
bottles.
bottle of brick. Nothing.
It's
Dude.
digging into the foundation of the building.
Trying to do that now, man. You can't get away with that.
What channel
Getting
was
paid
that on?
Big buck to do
It's
that.
like on TBS or something.
Oh, how about remember he did that Satan worshiping special?
Oh, yeah. It just made people more interested in the music. It's just a big commercial.
Look at the big infomercial for Satanism and Wicca.
If you play the record backwards, you ruin your fucking stereo. What are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. It sounds horrible.
Well, now everything is digital, so it's easy to listen to that stuff.
But I prefer to listen to it on vinyl.
Yeah, vinyl.
I
Vinyl's
prefer
the way
iPod.
to do it. Because vinyl sounds better than the digital.
Mhm.
I don't know about digital.
Because all sound is analog.
Howard Stern. So what's up with Howard Stern, dude?
There's a lot of AGT.
Yeah, you gonna watch that shit?
They're going to force me to watch that shit this year, and I never wanted to watch that, but now I'm going to have to, so.
When's that start up, man?
June 4th.
June 4th.
Something else for Brady to tape every week.
What are you guys talking about?
America's Got Talent.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. With Howard Stern.
Ooh.
He's one of the judges. I just want to see what it's like.
Yeah, probably won't be that into it.
I don't even think he's going to be with the judges this year.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Is he?
They're taping him now, actually.
Oh.
They just did New York sessions last week.
I can't watch those kind of shows.
I usually don't like that stuff. Yeah.
Cause it's like it's obvious this person has talent, but the fucking judges can't see it and they're fucking moron.
No,
You know, it
I
gets
liked the Gong Show. That was good.
Oh,
shit.
I did like the Gong Show.
Oh,
That
Chuck
was the
Barris?
original
Hell
America's
yeah.
Got Talent.
Gong
right?
Show from the 70s, not the 80s reboot.
No, you can't. You got to have Chuck Barris,
Yeah.
and you got to have Mean Gene, the Dancing Machine,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to have the Unknown Comic.
Unknown comic.
And without that, I don't know.
There was the Gong Show movie.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh my God, Gong Show movie.
Then there was the Unknown Comic movie. That show
Oh, I
inspired
remember-
2 movies.
No, the Unknown
3
comic was
movies.
in that movie, Cop Patrol.
Night Patrol.
Night Patrol, yeah.
That was the Unknown Comic movie.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Linda Blair also in that movie.
Oh, and also the cockfight in the alleyway.
Yeah, that's that's a classic.
That is a classic movie. I don't know what's more, that or Hot Fuzz.
They used to show it on USA Network, and it would, they cut the stuff out of the movies, but then they were just sloppy about it, so you would just see the movie just jerking and jumping because they'd be cutting out all the shits and the fucks. And now you're talking about Super Fuzz, which is a horrible movie, which should best be left in your memory of seeing it in 1981 or
That's
whatever.
the one where
'cause-
he sees red?
yeah, we made the mistake and watched that movie again, and it was horrible.
Yes.
It's about the cop who gets the superpowers, but every time he sees red, the powers go away. I do believe Ernest Borgnine is also in the movie.
So, like, if he saw a fire truck, now his pirate powers go away.
Yeah. I mean, the whole premise is flawed because there's red everywhere.
Yeah, so.
It was awful. But I loved it when I was 8, so go figure.
Yeah, I remember seeing it as a kid, too.
What
But
if
it was
he
more
just-
of that, just what was on
You
cable.
know, just get some glasses, like some blue glasses or some shit, right?
Well, they didn't have that technology.
They
yet.
didn't.
Back in the cable early days, they did show Young Frankenstein in silent movie quite a bit.
They showed crazy movies back in the early days of Showtime and whatnot.
Oh, Showtime, yeah.
Strange movies that by the time the mid 80s came along, all that stuff was gone. They didn't show that stuff anymore.
Like what kind of stuff?
Oh, just weird
Bizarre.
fucking B movies and stuff. Yeah.
I remember one time
Lots
dude,
of
I must have been
nudity.
watching a Mystery Science
Mhm.
Theater movie back then, dude, a Roger Corman movie. Because for the life of me, it was like the biker babe on a beach robbing people, dude. And I'm like 12 years old, and I'm like, and it's obvious it's a 1960s movie. And at the time, it was like, it's so weird. Now I was thinking I was watching a Mystery Science Theater movie or a Roger Corman movie.
And in many cases, that's the same thing.
Oh, Clash of the Titans was a staple.
Oh, loved that. Loved that.
Dude, a staple.
Didn't
KTLA staple.
Didn't see it in the theater, but I remember when it first came on HBO. We watched the shit out of it.
Dude, I remember Chris Duncan's mom took me and Duncan to go see it.
I saw it in junior high during mythology class. You remember back then where they used to teach us-
humanities.
Well, I don't remember what they called it, but they were teaching us about Greek and fucking Roman mythology. And we got to see that movie in class, and we had to get special permission to see it because there's that scene where she's nursing.
Oh, yeah.
But that movie was awesome, yeah. Still
Dude, that was
using
the last of the,
the old claymation.
the Roger Munchausen guy. I believe that's
It
his
was
name.
like in
Ray
the,
Harryhausen.
Yeah, Ray Howard.
You're thinking Baron Munchausen.
That's the movie guy.
that was a good movie too. I like that movie.
I did see that one in the theater.
Dude, also Showtime, Jason and the Argonauts.
That was a
Sinbad.
classic. Yeah, all
Oh,
those
yeah, the
Sinbad
Sinbad
movies.
movies.
Uh-huh, the
That's another
Godzilla-
thing we'd run home from school to catch the last 5 minutes
Dude,
of.
the skeleton with the sword fighting, dude, I thought that
Oh,
was
we loved that shit.
Dude, I thought that was cool as lightsabers.
That's where Army of Darkness comes from, is being inspired by all those movies.
And
you
Star
know.
Wars inspired by that too?
They're showing all 3 Evil Dead movies in a row at the Loft tomorrow night. $20.
Oh.
No, I can watch them at home, but I do like that they're providing that service for people that go to the reboot.
Ooh, that'd be fucking bad.
But that is cool that they're doing that. So.
Yeah.
Kind of expensive though, shit.
Yeah, that costs more than the Screamorama. But they probably have to pay for the rights for these now since that new one's out. And,
Yeah.
well, I should say the rights might be more expensive now.
Yeah, we'd rather watch them at home.
I know we've done that more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the first time we discovered that movie from... I mean, we had read about it, but we found it at Duke's Video finally. I was blown away by that.
It's one of the few times in my life where I knew to the day I die, I'm always going to be a movie lover.
We watched every piece of schlock we could find in that video store. Everything.
It didn't care.
You go in, walk in the aisles forever, and stare at the shit.
How much you got? $2. I got 2. What you got? We got $5. We can get 2 movies, 2 for 1 on Wednesdays. Mm-hmm. Free popcorn.
Renting all the brand new movie. Didn't matter what it was. If it had come out that week, I was renting it.
So it
Scraping up
was
the
back
change.
then.
Scraping up change. Do you remember when
Playing
Aliens...
Nintendo Play Choice 10 and getting free popcorn.
Remember when Aliens and the Fly videotapes were $89.99 each?
Oh, yeah. Robotron 2084 with the 2 joysticks.
Oh, my God.
Didn't they have a Karate Champ machine in there for a while?
Yeah. Mike Tyson Punch-Out at that pizza place, remember?
Oh, yeah. Occasionally we would go up to that shopping center, but usually I remember just going over to Duke's because it was right there. Duke's Video, a video chain here in town in the 80s that got closed for tax evasion or something. We showed up one day and they had the notice on the wall. But you'd carry your bag in and you'd get a free rental every time.
And it was it wasn't a plastic bag, it was a cloth bag.
Yeah, it was cloth bag.
Wow.
Or you could get a shirt or a hat, whatever had the Duke's thing.
And then they had a popcorn machine and you help yourself to free popcorn.
Yeah, free popcorn. So they probably hated us because we hung out in there all the time.
Dude, I remember they told my brother, stop eating so much popcorn, dude.
Just filling up.
Because he was like...
I'm eating a whole meal.
He was like... After 2 or 3 times, I'd be like kind of subconscious. My brother,
And they had some fucked up movies. Not as bad as like when the Bijou was open. Because that used to have VHS and Beta sitting side by side.
And the Bijou movie would be a movie that was being videotaped by the video camera.
Oh, you're thinking of yet another store. The Bijou is what turned into Domino's Pizza. It used to be on the other side of St. Mary's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about the mom and pop place.
They used to have like the Sid and Nancy poster plastered on the side of the Texas Chainsaw 2 was up there for like 3 years on the other side. But they used to have all those fucked up movies in the early 80s videos. But
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah, and these bloody, disgusting covers and shit that would just, the cover alone would freak me out. We rented there a few times, but you're talking about that place in the Safeway shopping center.
Listen to this.
Early to mid-90s. Where it was bootleg VHS. You could tell by the printing on the tape that it was a bad swap meet copy or something.
And then someone would actually sit with a video camera and film the movie.
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Well, those are common now, but back then it was like, what is this shit? And then the store closed up or went to the mall
Yeah,
somewhere.
because we rented a movie called Falling Down.
I've seen that
movie. And we were like...
We rented some good movies from that place.
The Stone Age.
My Boyfriend's Back.
The Stone Age.
And Brain Damage.
Brain Damage. That's the one with
And I think we got a copy of Eraserhead from there once. Yeah, Brain Damage about the parasite that injects the drug into the kid's neck.
Yeah, but My Boyfriend's Back. Dude, they should reboot that.
Dead Boy. Duncan kept talking about Dead Boy.
Dead Boy. Dead Boy. Oh, everything's so full and carefree then.
Now you just got Redbox, which doesn't have nearly the selection
Netflix.
They don't have Silent Night, Deadly Night
No,
in there.
but they have the same.
You can get that from Netflix, probably. Though.
Netflix.
But they have the same kind
But you
of
just don't have that
selection.
browsing the aisle feel, right?
It
That's-
does have it, dude. It does have it.
Netflix.
No, I
like,
mean actually walking around and looking at the
no.
boxes. You know.
Netflix just pops up shit for you. Oh,
Yeah.
you like this, you like this, and then there's like all these.
It has
Just-
its benefits, but I do miss the video store. We lived in Duke's Video.
Hell yeah. we lived for horror movies back then.
We rented everything in that fucking store.
And to think, Gene, me and Marty got sent to the principal's office.
Oh, for the creative writing had gotten a little too scary.
Uh-huh.
We kept writing horror stories and we were watching
Not once did they
disturbing
say,
shit,
hey,
so.
let's send these guys to screenwriter school up in Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
Let's discourage this creativity right now.
Yeah.
Evil Dead was the first movie I rented from the video store.
Wow.
Nice.
Because I was just like, wow, I'd heard about that movie, and it was like, you know, that's the shit right there, and it was the scariest fucking shit, the most, you know, disturbing as fuck.
Dude, the girl underneath the trap door and peeking out, that's on par with The Exorcist for me.
Oh, I think it's better than The Exorcist.
I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul.
I
I'll
never
swallow
thought
your
The
soul.
Exorcist was scary, though. I just thought it was more of a gross out
Now
movie. Like
swallow
when
your
she's getting
soul.
that spinal tap, that was the most disturbing
me, it's
scene
scary
in the
'cause
movie, I thought.
It was a spiritual scary.
Well, I was just like, that's Linda Blair with makeup on. This seemed silly to me. Even as a little kid, that one, I was like, this is a big deal. Shit, I was probably more scared of like Wolfen or some shit.
What I was
I would
more
love to
scared
see
of,
Wolfen again.
I was
man.
more-
Wolfen, you remember Wolfen.
I was more scared of the priest walking up the staircase than anything else.
Because it's the anticipation of
That's
what
what I was
what's going to
scared of.
happen.
Uh-huh.
Wolfen and Looker. Remember Looker?
See, these are the type of movies that would be on Showtime.
Yeah.
Wolfen. Ain't that William Stryber book?
No, Wolf.
Whitley Strieber.
Yeah,
But
Whitley.
it's that movie about like those alien wolf things. Or,
Yeah.
With
That's due
Albert.
for a
with
reboot.
Albert, what's his name? And Gregory Hines.
yeah,
Wasn't
I
he in
remember
that?
somebody gets their head ripped off at the end of the movie, and it freaked me out because the eyes are still moving in the head.
Oh my!
Creep me out.
It was like a prequel to those aliens books he
Yeah.
wrote, because that was like the way he was
right,
expressing
yeah.
that stuff back then.
For me,
Because
it
he
freaked.
didn't know that it was aliens or hadn't figured it out.
No,
or
for me,
what.
it was really freaky when the cow got killed in Apocalypse Now. Remember when the cow got hacked?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that was for me freakier than any horror movie I ever saw. I was like, why are they killing a cow? What did the cow ever do?
I remember seeing that, just thinking like, what?
Yeah.
I just didn't,
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
like- Very weird.
That whole movie didn't make sense to me when I was 5. I shouldn't have been watching that. When I
I
was
shouldn't
5,
have been
but
watching it either. Dude.
When we lived in Virginia and had the movie channel, and I'd watch that all the time because it was the only cable channel we had, and they'd show that like every 4 or 5 hours, and
And Deer Hunter.
they showed Deer Hunter a
I
few
remember
times.
first time I
yeah.
saw Deer Hunter, I was freaked out.
And then there's that It's Always Sunny with the Deer Hunter ending.
Yeah, and I
I'll,
didn't know
I'll
about.
call the police
I didn't know about what suicide was.
because Frank's got the eye patch and they're doing the Russian roulette
Yeah,
in the basement.
But I didn't at the time. I didn't know what suicide was and what the point of the Russian roulette. And my dad got mad that I was asking these kind of questions. Like, why are you asking these kind
You
of
shouldn't
questions?
be watching this movie.
I saw this movie today, Dad.
Suicide.
Christopher Walken.
Oh, Christopher Walken can freak you out right off the bat.
Oh hell!
right?
Yeah, Christopher Walken was in that other Whitley Strieber movie about the aliens, right? Communion.
Communion.
And the
Yeah.
Dead Zone was a staple on cable too.
Oh yeah, that's good shit.
That might quite possibly be the best '80s Stephen King film.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe, but that's a debate for next week.
Ooh.
Podcast number 13,
Ooh,
my favorite number.
not mine.
Woo!
Bye.
6 weeks to Comic Con. Soon to be 5.
Bye.
GMR! 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 GMR!